Halloween age 20, 20 years later. Released 1998, directed by Steve Miner Moore. Halloween age 20, 20 years later. Halloween age 20 is an underappreciated horror gem. 18 of 105 the best horror movie sequels. 148 of 722 the best horror movies of all time. Godzilla. Released 1998, directed by Roland Emmerich Moore. Godzilla. 22 of 63 movies set in Brooklyn. 5 of 24 movies you loved as a child that just don't hold up. 11 of 2020 bad action movies. Life is beautiful. Released 1997, directed by Roberto Benigni Moore. Life is Beautiful. 14 of 170 the most utterly depressing movies ever made. 282 of 372 old movies every young person needs to watch in their lifetime. 136 of 220 the greatest World War Roman II movies of all time. Enemy of the State. Released 1998, directed by Tony Scott Moore. Enemy of the State. 17 of 49 the very best movies about hackers. 5 of 89 the greatest movies about CIA agents and operatives. 26 of 32 blockbusters with no cultural impact whatsoever. Ranked. Mulan. Released 1998, directed by Tony Bancroft. Barry Cook Moore. Mulan. 20 weird Mulan thoughts that actually make a good point. 72 of 206 musical movies with the best songs. 35 of 88 animated movies that make you cry the most. Practical Magic. Released 1998, directed by Griffin Dunmore. Practical Magic. 47 of 105 the best Halloween movies for kids. 5 of 84 great movies that take place in autumn. 14 of 96 the best film adaptations of young adult novels. The Rugrats Movie. Released 1998, directed by Norton Virgin. Igor Kovalyov Moore. The Rugrats Movie. Tommy attempting to get rid of Dill in the Rugrats Movie is only part of the weirdness. 259 of 575 the best animated films ever. 1050 of 1540 the most rewatchable movies. Dolittle. Released 1998, directed by Betty Thomas Moore. Dr. Dolittle. 113 of 661 the best black movies ever made. Ranked 111 of 126 the funniest movies starring SNL cast members. 76 of 144 the funniest black movies ever made. You've Got Mail. Released 1998, directed by Nora Ephron Moore. You've Got Mail. 2 of 125 the greatest date movies of all time. 6 of 105 the best Valentine's Day movies. 97 of 133 the best movies based on plays. Lethal Weapon 4. Released 1998, directed by Richard Donner Moore. Lethal Weapon 4. 23 of 74 the best action movie sequels. 172 of 333 the all-time greatest martial art movies. 36 of 175 the best police movies. Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. Released 1998, directed by Terry Gilliam Moore. Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, the true story behind Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. 2 of 97 the best movies to watch on mushrooms. 4 of 204 the best drug movies of all time. Ever After, a Cinderella story. Released 1998, directed by Andy Tennant. Patch Adams. Released 1998, directed by Tom Shadyac Moore. Patch Adams, 497 of 836, the greatest chick flicks ever made, 18 of 277, the top tearjerker movies that make men cry, 736 of 925, the all-time greatest comedy films. Pleasantville. Released 1998, directed by Gary Rossmore. Pleasantville, 204 of 675, the best movies Roger Ebert gave 4 stars, 623 of 1137, the absolute funniest movies of all time, 92 of 252, the funniest 90s movies. There's Something About Mary. Released 1998, directed by Peter Farrelly, Bobby Farrelly Moore. There's Something About Mary, behind-the-scenes stories from the making of There's Something About Mary. 29 of 50, the 50 highest-grossing 90s movies, ranked 181 of 480, the greatest movies for guys. Deep Impact. Released 1998, directed by Mimi Lettermore. Deep Impact, 127 of 196, the biggest tearjerker movies of all time, 14 of 14 movies, where the collateral damage way outweighs the cost of saving the day, 154 of 498, the greatest sci-fi movies of all time. The Wedding Singer. Released 1998, directed by Frank Carasai Moore. The Wedding Singer, 24 of 60, the best movies to curl up and watch when you're sick, 1 of 36, the best period movies set in the 80s, 5 of 50, the best and worst of Adam Sandler. Rush Hour. Released 1998, directed by Brett Ratner Moore. Rush Hour, 43 of 541, the greatest guilty pleasure movies, 40 of 45, the greatest action film franchises, ranked 1 of 57, the funniest movies about cops. The Man in the Iron Mask. Released 1998, directed by Randall Wallace Moore. The Man in the Iron Mask, 169 of 369, the best movies based on books, 30 of 47, the best historical movies from the 90s, 420 of 524, the best fantasy movies. Saving Private Ryan. Released 1998, directed by Steven Spielberg. Moore. Saving Private Ryan, 12 small but accurate details from Saving Private Ryan, 53 of 1189, every Oscar-winning film ever, 1 of 374, the 50-plus best war movies ever made, ranked. The Big Lebowski. Released 1998, directed by Ethan Coen, Joel Coen Moore. The Big Lebowski, 18 things you didn't know about the Big Lebowski, 8 of 26, the best F-bombs in movie history, 104 of 355, the best rainy day movies. American History X. Released 1998, directed by Tony K. Moore. American History X, 8 of 12 movies where the cast and crew disagreed about its meaning, 159 of 553, the greatest epic movies ever made, 4 of 134, the best movies you never want to watch again. Armageddon. Released 1998, directed by Michael Bay Moore Armageddon 175 of 557 The greatest film scores of all time 8 of 317 The greatest disaster movies of all time 46 of 81 The most patriotic movies of all time. The Waterboy. Released 1998, directed by Frank Moore. The Waterboy, 26 of 204 The best sports movies ever made, 78 of 150 The most inspirational sports movies, 7 of 141 The best college movies ever. The Truman Show. Released 1998, directed by Peter Weir. The Truman Show behind-the-scenes stories from The Truman Show, 36 of 151. The most rewatchable comedy movies, 4 of 12 movies that were eerily ahead of their time.
Hey guys, thank you so much for the support and likes and comments down below, and also thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to see you in the next video. Then take care. Bye.